and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, it's the beginning of the financial year 2025, and on day one itself, we've actually seen that the markets have hit it out of the boundary. The Nifty has crossed its earlier record high levels and has surpassed the 22,526 mark on an intraday basis, that is. Same way for the Sensex as well. We have newer levels to keep as benchmark on the intraday session as well. Even now, although the ride has been choppy from the morning trading session, 0.7% of gains still remain on the Nifty. And this comes on the back of a sharp 25% surge on the benchmark indices that we've seen for the fiscal year 2024 that ended just on the last Thursday. Also, when we talk about the broader markets, there have been many surprises. In fact, the rally continued to outperform the benchmark indices. The mid and the small caps with over 60% kind of returns have definitely made investors rich over FY24. All the sectors of the Nifty gave you positive returns, with the Nifty Realty Index surpassing all the others with a rally that took it about 130% increase is what it saw. And there you see a one-year return for all the other indices as well. So the IT index, the auto index, financial services, all of them were up and about. In fact, when we talk about the worst performing index, there was no worst performing index because all of them actually gave you positive returns. It was the FMCG index that gave you just about 17% odd returns. That was the lowest of all of them. But the realty index, a very sharp surge of 140 odd percent. But the big question is, now what? How will FY25 really pan out for you? Where is it that you need to keep your focus on in case you want to make money in the new financial year? Well, to help us understand all of this, I have an expert joining in right here on the show with us is Mr. Gaurav Dua, Head of Capital Market Strategy at Sharekhan. Mr. Dua, welcome to Business Today TV. Good to have you on the day one of fiscal year 2025. What is it that your gut feel really tells you? What's the sense on the markets that you have for this new fiscal year?
Thanks a lot for having me on your show. Uh, Congrats to you and your team for the award, Sakshi.
Thank you.
Yes, we had a great FY24, and if you listen, go back last year, it started with on a very this is somber note, and then you had an extremely good rally, not only in large cap but also small caps, micro caps, mid caps. So it has been a great year. What is very this thing, this is surprising to me is that last month when you had around 2.5% fall in the index Nifty, and some around 10-12% fall in small cap index, mid cap index, the atmosphere all around was very say pessimistic, negative. I was there on your show and I said markets look very good. They always will offer you opportunities in the this thing short term. But however, don't mix the big this thing picture, which says that India is on a multi-year upcycle. Markets will do well for next 2, 4 years, 5 years, and this kind of an opportunity you should not miss. This is the time where you can actually make a lot of wealth in the equity market. Coming to now this thing 25, we see one more year that will be extremely good for the markets. You will get a good double-digit kind of a gain, I think, in the large cap stocks. However, in the small cap space, mid cap space, I think you need to be very stock specific now.
Okay, so double-digit returns can actually be expected this time around too. So perhaps you will get many more opportunities for making money, although one needs to be very careful as the word comes in as far as the outperformers of the past are concerned, the mid and the small caps as well. Okay, so benchmark indices still about double-digit returns one can expect. But let's talk about sectors and themes first. Which are the top 2 or 3 themes or sectors that you believe investors must keep an eye out on, and where will money be made in FY25?
So if you are so talking about the themes, I think if you have a view of 2 to 5 years, you should stick to that theme, which is going to drive this multi-year upcycle in India, right? So what you have seen in past year or year and a half, that apart from the spending on the infrastructure that has been going on in India, what has actually this thing changed is that you have a new upcycle starting in the in this property market now. Real estate has a very huge impact on the economy, and I think real estate has a 5 to 8 years of an upcycle. So that upcycle will go on. You will get opportunities there to make a lot of wealth in 2 to 5 years. So that is a theme that you should stick to. Not only the stocks in that space, but also the ancillary sectors to real estate. Number two, what we are seeing is that there is a beginning of a private sector investment cycle. That means after a long phase of 8, 10 years, now you see across the industries, companies have their expansion plan. You pick up any large group, Tata, Birla, JSW, Adani, Ambani, all of them have 50 to 60 billion dollar worth of expansion over next 4 to 6 years. Now that again means that you have 5 years of private sector expansion that will happen in India. That is going to drive growth in engineering stocks and and this capital goods stock. So along with real estate linked stock, engineering, capital goods, and banks, if the economy has to grow, banks has to support it. And lastly, and very important, consumer goods. I think once economy will start to grow the uh, way it is expected to grow, you are going to get a lot of very good opportunities on that space, consumer spending.
Okay. Okay, so one has to look at themes from a 2 to 5 years perspective. So what's been going on will continue. So infrastructure will continue, engineering, capital goods, banks, consumer goods, real estate. These are the pockets that you need to focus on where constant improvement can be seen. This is the concentration, and of course, private capex, as highlighted by Mr. Dua, will come back in force. So family offices, large conglomerates should also be on your radar as well, as over the next 5-10 years, a massive expansion and capex has been planned by all of these conglomerates, starting from the Adani Group, the Ambani Group, Birla Group, and Tata Group. And Tata Group, of course, has been one of the outperformers for FY24 in terms of wealth created for investors. So keep an eye out on these as well. And in the same breath, Mr. Dua, a lot of people will be focusing on, like you also gave us a hint, that perhaps one needs to be a little cautious on the mid and small cap space. Where exactly should one stay away from? FY25 will not be a year for some sectors, perhaps. Which could be those sectors?
So I think you'll still have underperformance from from this FMCG space. I think that's a space where this rural demand is still weak, and and this evaluations are this quite high. We also feel that this whole commodity, where you could have a lot of this supply pricing pressure, especially you continue to face pressure in in this chemical space. That's a space which did very well in 2020, 21. Some of the players who had long-term operating this thing profits of 10, 12% showed profit of 18, 20, 22%. And the market started expecting those kind of this thing profits. But with this in China opening up, a lot of this pressure is there in terms of pricing. So a lot of commoditized player in that space will not do well. However, we think there are some this specialized players who have gone through consolidation for 2.5 years, and now from this year will start showing extremely good numbers again. Stocks that I'm just talking about is is this SRF. I think SRF after this lull of almost a year and a half or more is going to do extremely well in this year. Another stock in this space could be could be this in Gujarat Fluorochem. That is another stock which is in the same space. which I think will do exceedingly well in this year.
Okay, SRF, Gujarat Fluorochemicals, those are the kind of stocks that you can keep an eye out on. And since we are now talking about stocks, sir, can you give us in terms of the large caps? Because, you know, when we started out calendar year 2024, there was a hope that perhaps large caps will start to make a comeback in this year and start to perhaps compete with the gains, compete for gains with mid and the small caps as well. So in terms of the large cap stocks, which are the top stocks that you will keep your bets on?
So I have already spoken about SRF. This is two more stocks I'll add to that list. One is this thing Airtel, and second is is this Maruti. So in fact, I came to your show about a last month, 2 months back, in fact, and I said these three stocks are going to do exceedingly well. All three stocks are close to their all-time high. Maruti, Airtel, of course, they have like also this in broken out, and I think SRF will also do, and I think these stocks will outperform in this year, and could be the stocks that will actually give you extremely healthy gains in this year.
Okay, any kind of upside that you can share with our viewers, sir? What is the potential upside, say, for a fresh investor who's looking at 1 year time horizon? If that person wants to invest, what is the kind of potential upside one can expect on these three stocks?
So what we are saying is, in terms of index, we are looking at 14 to the 16% kind of appreciation this year. Whereas in these stocks, I can expect around this 25% approximately in this year.
Sure. Okay. So, benchmark index could be actually looking at 14, 15, 16 odd percent kind of growth this year. But these specific stocks, Maruti Suzuki already at a record high, Airtel already climbing to its all time high, SRF also up about 9 odd percent in the last 1 year. These are the key stocks that could actually be looking forward to 20-25% kind of returns and may outperform the index on the Nifty right here. So, in case you're looking at large cap stocks, do keep an eye out on this one. How would you really look at the mid and the small caps? Of course, you did hint out that one has to be very stock specific now and not go all out in investing everywhere, because we've seen stupendous results over the last 1 year or last 1.5, 2 years for the mid and the small caps. Where exactly would you keep your focus on? Any particular stocks that you can highlight from this basket?
So to play the multi-year or the growth in the incomes over the next 2 to 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, I think two stocks stand out for me. One is this Radico Khaitan. I think they
Okay.
have done extremely good job. They in last this few years brought out some this very interesting brands which are doing good, and I think that is a story of growth for India, or if you want to play the spending in India. Second would be this is Wonderla Holiday. I think that stock which is like could go up 4 5 times in next this thing 5 to 8 years. It's uh, it's it's basically play on the amusement park, basically basically this thing play on this in leisure. It is right now having this thing three parks, which will become five by next year, and I think by 2027 they'll have this is 7 8 parks in place, and this is this in cash rich company. The entire expansion has been done from this internal accruals, and I think this is a stock which is a must this thing buy and hold in the space. Apart from these two stocks, I think Arvind this thing Smart Space is another stock which we believe is a very high high this thing quality play on this Ahmedabad and around area in terms of real estate. I think the real estate prices in in this in Western India will do extremely well, and that's a place, that's a stock to play that upside. Uh, this urban smart spaces. The this fourth stock for us would be uh, uh, this thing, Himmat Singh Ka's night. I think that is this undervalued stock. It's trading at around say 7-8 times. Very good company, very good exposure to exports. Once you have some stability in export, I think that stock will also do very well. So I think you need to have very this thing careful this thing picking of these kind of stocks where you have a multi-year upside, a structural story in terms of growth, and uh, you can this thing buy and hold those stocks.
All right. So, in case you have been looking forward to having a portfolio of 5-6 strong stocks for the fiscal year 2025, you have a list from Mr. Dua, and I will repeat all of them for you. So, from the large caps, he is betting big on Maruti Suzuki, the largest car maker. That is something that even at record levels, he believes has a promise of giving you over 20% kind of returns. Bharti Airtel is another one where he's betting big on in the telecom story and the kind of growth we will see here. SRF is another one where he believes the outperformance could come in this year as well. Apart from this, from the mid and the small cap space, especially when we talk about the liquor space, it's Radico Khaitan, the Alcobev space company that he believes can continue to give you outperforming returns over the next 1 year. Wonderla Holidays is another one where he is betting big on, where he believes that they are constantly signing up on expanding, and that could be something that you should be looking at with people going out and spending out big. This is one stock that he believes already 1 to 40% kind of a surge is what you have seen in this stock over the last 1 year. But further, this stock has potential to give you even better returns. Arvind Smart Spaces is the next one that he's betting big on, and where he believes that investors can continue to look for promise. So these are the 6 stocks that he's betting big on. Many thanks, Mr. Dua, for being with us on this show and helping us understand your view of the markets, how the markets are likely to pan out, the key themes and strategies and sectors that one needs to follow, and the stock list as well. Always a pleasure to host you on Business Today.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, we wrap up this very special trading session. The first day, we've seen a remarkable start. There could be volatile times because the markets will be maneuvering a whole host of economics, political, macro data points, geopolitical points. But at the end of it, experts believe that double-digit returns can continue to remain on the markets. So it is a good space to be in case you're looking forward to. And specific stock ideas also shared with you, which I believe you should speak with your own financial advisor before investing in after you listen to our guests on the show. Many thanks for joining us on to this edition.
The judiciary is caught in political crossfire. Over 600 lawyers wrote a letter to Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, warning the Supreme Court against what they call pressure